We're back with Guns in the Solution. My name is Lawrence Namali, and we're doing here a show on Solid Jamaaz. We're talking about patterns of paternity. I'm my father's son, and we're dwelling on the idea of anger. My friend, I know we are provoked on a daily basis, and men are provoked on a daily basis, and that's not an excuse. But the idea is, how do we respond? How do we deal? How can men start learning to deal with issues related to anger? Because we cannot get a vaccine. We cannot wear a mask. We cannot get an injection or a drug against anger. It's a human emotion which is valid. But at some point in time, it goes overboard. A true Solid Jamaa, how does a true Solid Jamaa go about handling their anger issues?
Remember how to say that the first and most important catharsis for a Solid Jamaa is love.
Yeah.
That is a conversation of its own.
Yeah.
But when the Bible tries to define love in Proverbs, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, what I say? What is the first thing?
Love is
patient.
Yeah.
That is the first thing it says.
It's amazing to me that the Bible doesn't say love is the process whereby, or love is. The Bible talks about what love does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what love does, because love is.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That it is a product of being.
Yeah.
Love is a product of being.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying that to be or to act like a Solid Jamaa, you have to be a Solid Jamaa. And a Solid Jamaa here is one who is consciously and intentionally walking in love.
Yeah.
You see, now we live in a generation that has given up on love.
Yeah.
And they wonder why they are so angry.
Yeah.
We are living in a loveless generation. Fathers walking out on their children, walking out on their wives, walking out on their family. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you have this whole business of side dishes going on. And then
it's even right now in Uganda, you know what's going on. It's a mainstream news medias and even gossip media. They are talking about one popular character, whose marital issues are being discussed nationally. And you can see the way this Jamaa is responding is not in a solid way.
So saying Pastor Jingo is not a Solid Jamaa.
I'm trying to be.
No, we are going to call a spade because these are who supposed to be teaching us how to be men.
So the way he handles anger in a public forum is not advisable. Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
The way he expresses it, by the way, it's not what you would advise. But you're talking about love, right? Love is patient.
Love is patient.
And
patience is the opposite of anger.
Right.
Now, it says love is patient. Then it says love is humble. And humility is the opposite of what? Ego. Where does anger lie? Ego.
Someone said ego is edging God out.
Thank you. And when you edge God out, do you have space for love? Are you saying? And when you think about as listening to the former president of Uruguay, Jose Mujica, it's called the poorest president, and in 2014 he offered Barack Obama and the US and said the prisoners from Guantanamo, we're happy to resettle some of them in Uruguay because now they are stateless. They had been rejected, and now even prison could not have them anymore. It was illegal for them to be in prison, and they had no country to go back to. And said, no, let them come back. Let them come to Uruguay. And then people in his country were up in arms. They're like, no, how do you bring criminals? What? And he said, I don't personally see a problem with hosting these people. And he said, why? Because one, everyone needs a country. I've never heard of something stupid like you have no state. And then he said, but the most important thing is these are broken people.
Yeah.
These are broken people.
Yeah.
You
What
need
do you
to
do with a
understand
broken
that.
person? You don't like throw them away.
You get?
Yeah.
So what sentiment do you think this man was talking out of? Now, this was a guy who in his youth was a bank robber.
Right.
And he was robbing banks to raise money for a revolution.
Right.
And then he was arrested and he was in jail for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then he came out to be president.
Yeah.
So looking back now, he said, no, let them come.
Yeah.
And one time they asked him, the things that you have been through, do you have, like, would you revenge? Or have you forgiven?
Yeah.
His answer amused me. He said, I have nothing to forgive. I mean, he says, I've not forgiven, but I have nothing I have no date to pick
with anyone. Wow.
You get? So maybe age gives you that perspective.
Yeah. Looking back.
And then you discovered, hey, I could have been patient in that situation. So we're talking about how do we as men come to a place where we're managing our anger. The first thing is to consciously and consistently purpose to walk in love. There's nothing
which
wrong.
is not straightforward, by the way. It's something that you've got to work on intentionally.
And that's the easiest way to understand love is to choose others above yourself.
Above yourself. Yeah, there you go.
About the feelings and everything that goes with it, I'll give you time.
Yeah.
But once you choose to live a life where you prefer others to yourself, then your ego has no space.
Yeah.
Your ego has no space
in
the conversation of life.
Yeah.
You get? And we've seen that many men are dealing with anger issues because of a bruised ego.
Yeah.
But if your ego is in control, like if you're in control of your ego, where are they going to find it to be bruised? Why? Because you have tampered it. And you know what tampers the ego? Love. That's what tempers it and covers it. And the shocks of life don't get to it easily. Like someone says you're stupid. But because you're thinking, maybe this person is hurt. This person is talking like this out of heart. Maybe this person is feeling like this and that's why they're doing it. So you see what love does? It gives you a chance to have perspective of someone else's situation that they are standing from to, to provoke emotion out of you. Now, divine indignation is something else. The reason why God has given us anger is to know, is to give us the impetus for change. Not change, but action. Anger is the fuel for action. What action is a choice for every man.
I once had Tony Robbins, one of the guys that I normally follow. He's a life strategist, big time life strategist. He's worked with Serena Williams, Bill Clinton, and some presidents. He also worked with Conor McGregor. Remember Conor McGregor, who went in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Who broke his leg?
Some guy broke his leg and so on.
Was it Conor or was it?
No. Conor's leg was broken
in the leg
by another kickboxing guy.
Yeah, so Conor is the one whose leg got broken.
Yeah, he's the one whose leg got broken. But before
he's still out.
I saw his video working out with a plaster in the gym. He's something else. Anyway, so Tony Robbins once said that him and his wife, they are very intentional about their physiology because it at times dictates their psychology. And he painted a picture. He says when he comes home, regardless of how he is feeling and so on and so forth, they just run to each other as if they have missed each other for like 20 years. And they hug one another and so on and so forth. I was bringing that up to let us consider the idea that is totally revolutionary here in managing my anger. Let's say someone has pissed me off. Let's say it's my wife. And I have a valid reason to retaliate. And it's within margins of seconds, sometimes microseconds, either to lash out a word or to cut her off, treat her in a more, give her a silent treatment. That thing can happen in seconds. In fact, in microseconds. You can make that decision in microseconds. But I want us to also, in that opportunities of making decisions, you press the thing. Please. Anyway.
Anger. Let's talk about these few seconds that you're having.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
I like to say that there will always be a space for choice.
That's what I was saying.
Between stimulus and response. Yeah.
So that was saying that the choice that is always available is the choice of reacting. But I want us to consider putting in another option right there,
which is
to do the exact opposite of what you think you will do, regardless of how you're feeling. And it works.
Tell me about this one.
So for example, someone hurts you. Someone you love hurts you in that moment in time, and you have the opportunity,
you have the right,
the capacity and the power to retaliate.
Just show them what's up
and show them who you are, basically, and where you come from. How about you do the exact opposite of what you're feeling? Turn to them, give them a hug.
Do you know what you sound like?
Like who?
Some Jesus. I mean, what do you think he meant?
Yeah.
When he said, love your enemies.
Yeah.
And if someone does something or hurt you,
doing
good.
Yeah.
It's like piling coals
on them, on their heads.
Yeah. So maybe we need to listen to Jesus.
What I'm saying is we need to consider putting ourselves in practice. That's the word I want to use. In practice. It's good to listen to what Jesus...
Putting the principle in practice.
Yes. It's good to listen to what Jesus is saying. And we've been listening to him, this turning of the other cheek, all these years.
How many have we? How many times have we turned?
How many have we done the principle? It works. And it doesn't say you wait until your feelings have subsided and then you turn the other cheek. It's in the moment.
In that moment.
In that very moment. You don't go 2 weeks later and then you come back and say, hey, guess what? The other cheek is... It is right there in the... I know it's a tall order. But I'm just considering that there are very many situations, because I'm talking this from experience. There are very many situations that I know split seconds made a big difference for 1 year, 2 years, 1 month. Split seconds. And in that very moment, I had the capacity to do the exact opposite of what I was required to do.
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. But you get my point.
But it's funny, you brought it up earlier before we started.
Yeah.
And I told you sometime in one of our personal Solid Jamaa conversations, and I told you, this is what you're going to do. Stop what you're doing and go and hug your wife.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me about that particular moment, because you felt you had the right to be angry.
Yeah.
I want you, looking back now, what would it have taken for you to swallow your pride, silence your ego, and go and hug your wife? Because you said that I said it like it's something that you just get up and do.
Yeah.
And now here you're talking about
the exact same thing. Split seconds. So
tell us your experience.
The issue is that